Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Sarah Salsabila Ismail, student ID number 221072-2002, and I would like to present my own understanding regarding to the material of discourse, introduction to discourse analysis of the materials that can call multimodal discourse analysis. So in this material, there are 6 key points that need to be understood uh, to to understand fully what is multimodal discourse analysis. So here's our the 6 key points that need to be understood. First of all, there are the what is the discourse multimodal discourse analysis, or the definition of the MDA. And the second one, we have multimodality and genre. And the third one, we have multimodality and newspaper. And the fourth one, we have multimodality and film and adaptation, or television, if I'm not mistaken. And the fifth one, we have how to do the multimodal discourse analysis. And the last one, we have a limitation of multimodal discourse analysis. So, well, basically, let's take a look at the first one. Well, basically, it is what is the definition of multimodal discourse analysis. So, based on the Halliday's definition, multimodal discourse analysis is basically an analysis that considers language as one of the numbers of semiotic discourse approach. For the example, gesture, images, music, the things that people use the thing that people use in their communication with each other in everyday life. So, what is the purpose of this multimodal discourse analysis? The purpose is to describe a social situation that use semiotic researchers from communication itself. So it's basically we analyze this social situation that we're doing every day within the semiotic researchers that 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 might re- result some gesture, images, and music that uh, that represent those semiotic discourse. So, well, that is basically what is multimodal discourse analysis and the purpose. And also, it looks at the multiple and also, multimodal discourse analysis, taking a look at some of the models of communication. For example, how people reacted to the events of 9/11. So they were very much affected by the image or the video footage they saw on the television, and as they were also reporting by the verbal report. So, what does that it means by this? It is to establish a proximity to the event and engage people in the event. So people who saw the footage or saw the real the real picture of that event were probably going to be well enough also feels the same, and they will react because it is a method of a discursive analysis that looks at not just how individuals uh, modes of communicate, but how they interact. Well, you know what I mean. So it's basically how the newspaper report the 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 event of 9/11. Well, as you can see, it is affect a lot of people, and by those explanation and by those example, I will also like to provide what is semiotic tools itself. So the semiotic tool itself is in if you saw in television or films or newspaper or genre, something like that, the semiotic tool is going to be coloring, framing, positioning, camera movements, the elements, and also the elements of every newspaper, every films, or every television. It is construct the meaning of the text itself. So, well, basically, it's always the same as the previous analysis that we're doing. It's basically just trying to find a underlying meaning on it. So, in this case, Halliday proposed three types of social meanings. There are ideationals, then intrapersonal, and textual. So ideationals itself is basically what is the text about. So the themes of the text, the topic of the text. So the mind statement of the text. So what is this text talking about? So that is the ideational of social meaning. And the second one comes to intrapersonal. So this intrapersonal, it is the relation between the participants. So these two participants talking to each other, but the way they speak to each other define their relationship. Because if they are lovers, they're going to talking with sweet tone or something like that. But if they were really close friends, it's going to be a talking and the, well, higher pitch of tone. And there's the last one, social, the last type of social meaning, that is textual. How the message is basically organized. So it's basically the syntactic meaning of social context. So it's basically we try to find a meaning based it's on textual, without seeing any context in it. So it's basically that is really yes, it's syntactic, because we taking a look at how those texts are organized within how those sentences are organized within the text. So, taking a look at the next subdivisions of submaterials, I mean, there is multimodality and a newspaper. So in this multimodality, no, I'm so sorry. It is multimodality in genre. So it's basically, we do know that genre is how it is kind of well, a participation in particular communicative event. So it's basically it's divides something best or best based on its kinds, well, in this thing, there's also holidays also propose the speech act theory. There's illocutionary and perlocutionary. So we do all know what is illocutionary and perlocutionary is. So it's basically illocutionary is the acts. So it's basically if it an advertisement. So the illocutionary is basically how 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 people are trying to persuade other people to buy their products. So it's basically I'm a seller, I'm trying to sell my product. So that is illocutionary. So the people that I'm speaking to are getting persuaded by my by my speaking. They want to buy my products. So that is how they call perlocutionary act, because as they are affected by me and trying to buy my product. So that is illocutionary and perlocutionary acts. So welcome to the next submaterial. There is multimodality in the newspaper. So multimodality and the newspaper leading the evolution to this genre, because this is often to draw visual image, because uh, this visual image are based on the interest of the reader. So it's basically they are trying to construct the image in their imagination. So in this case, the newspaper, the classic newspaper, the traditional newspaper are having a three components. First one is heading. Heading itself is consists of the title itself. And the second one we can see in the old newspaper, we can see the image, the picture in the centers. And after that, we can see the third component is the caption, the explanation of those titles and of those images. So it's basically those small the small explanation of text. So it's basically those are the caption. But taking a look how globalization taking over the over our world right now, we could see online newspaper, and in online newspaper, uh, there are also three component, because in online newspaper we can taking a look at the homepage, and in that homepage they are consist of three components. First one is the headlines, and after that, after the headline, we there's a synopsis, the hooks, the sentence, the hook sentence, that making inserts of people that want to read about that. And after that, the third component of online newspaper, there is a link, the links that continue people that are going to tap it into the next explanation, into the next or the complete text. And next one, the next submaterial is modality in the films and televisions. So mod- multimodal discourse analysis include frame, shot, scene, sequence, and generic structure, and work as a whole. So frame is basically a representative of a camera movement. So it's basically it's our perspective, and the shot is how camera movement. Basically, if camera movements like they're shaking or something like that. So it's basically symbolize how this perspective of people are in anxiety stage or something like that. And there's a scenes, how do camera remain in a scene, and there's a sequence, how camera move based on character or based on the topic. And there's this generic structure. So generic structure is basically the beginning, the middle, and the ending. And the last one, work as a whole, is a narrative or factual generic between social environment and this. So it's basically it's the relation between the text and the outside of the world. So it is how modality in film and television relate to specific context. For example, how it is relate to historical period, it's relate to social events in particular, or specific viewers that programs try to aims to. And how to do. Uh, the next submaterial is how to do multimodal discourse analysis. It is similar to discourse analysis as the previous studies before. It's basically we analyze the data, so we try to find the aspect that we've seen to contribute the meaning of the text. Then we collect, we load, we summarize, then we do the additional commentary. And the last one, last but not least, there are limitation of multimodal discourse analysis. There are these are divided into two types. First one is technical. Technical is a very interpretive, basically. And the second one, it is the aims of the scope at the multimodal discourse analysis often give less attention to language that approach to discourse analysis that might that discourse analysis might be considered. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.